Welcome to Richmond Public Library's Twitch stream. Today we're going to be talking about a film program called Shotcut. My name is James the Tech, and I'm going to show you how Shotcut works. It's a very good open source program that has a lot of really great features. It can be a little bit daunting at first to try to use, but I'm going to show you how Shotcut works. I'm going to show you where to download it, and I'm going to show you how to get set up. As you can see right now, the background that I have on my Twitch isn't very exciting. I'm going to make it a little bit more exciting with Shotcut, and I'm going to show you how I do that as we go. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to download Shotcut so that you can see where to download it, and then we're going to look at the interface so that we can understand it, because you can set it up. You can personalize it, so you can set it up so that it works a little bit better for you, and we're going to look at how to do that exactly. Let's take a look here. Okay, so here all I've done is I've Googled the word Shotcut, and so basically all you have to do is do that. You'll see shotcut.org. That is the website. You go to shotcut.org and right here. So depending upon what kind of system you are using, that's what's going to decide whether or that's going to decide what you download. So if you're using a Mac, you want to make sure to get the Mac version. If you are using a Windows, you want the Windows version. And of course, if you're using a Linux like what I am using, then you want to use the Linux version. So I've already downloaded it, so I don't have to download it. But basically, you go click to download, and it's going to give you a little bit of an ad. If you don't have an ad blocker on, you can just get rid of that. And then here, so for me, it's already detected that I have Linux. If you have a Linux program, you would download the Linux AppImage, and then there's one more thing that you have to do if you do that. If you download the Mac version or the PC version, you would just use the installer. However, if you are using the Linux version with the AppImage, you do have to actually set it up so that it will run, because it won't run just as a straight download. So let's take a look at that first, and I'm going to show you all of that. So oh, it's okay. Hold on. There's Shotcut. There's me back, and we want. Ta-da! There we go. Okay, so here we go. I'm actually going to close up my down. So we're going to pretend that I've downloaded it, and I'm going to close up my web browser. And over here, I have Shotcut Linux. So if you did download the Linux version and you want to use it, as I said, you can't just use it straight away. Here, I'm going to bring me back so that you can see me here. What you have to do is right-click on it so that you get this menu, and then you're going to go to Properties, and under Properties, and this goes with any AppImage if you're using a Linux distro. And then you need to go to Permissions, and down here you'll see Allow Executing File as Program. By default, that's going to be unchecked, and then you won't be able to run it, because Linux is going to look for another program to try and run. So you click on Allow Executing File as Program, and then click Close. And so now, if I double click on the AppImage, it's going to just load up. So as I said, if you're using a Windows or a Mac version of it, you won't have to do that extra step. The install is going to install it, and it'll just run. However, regardless if you're using the Mac, the Windows, or the PC version, it's all going to look basically like this. And so here I'm going to have this take up all of my screen, and I think I'm going to get rid of me here so that I'm not taking up the screen either. And there we go. And here, so what we have, if you look at the top, you have some menu items up here. You have File, Edit, View, Settings, Help. And then underneath that, you have a menu bar. You have a ribbon here for Open File, Open Other. And Open Other, I'll tell you what the difference between Open File and Open Other is. Open Other comes in handy when you want to do things like create scrolling text. If you at the end of your movie, if you want to have, if you want to how they have credits at the end of movies. If you want to have credit at the end of the movie, that's where you would have that. And then there's save, and you want to save quite often because with Shotcut it is open source. It runs really well now. In the beginning, when I first started using it years ago, it crashed all the time, but now it doesn't. It's actually pretty stable. However, it can still crash, just like any program, right? So you want to make sure that you save it because the last thing that you want to do is to be working on your program. All of a sudden, it crashes and everything, all your editing is gone. The nice thing about this is that it does save a backup file of it, and if it does crash, it will often have saved your last little bit, and it'll when it restarts, it'll ask you if you want to load the backup because it's a more recent version than the one that you saved, and then you can then you haven't lost anything. However, you don't really want to rely on that. So, and you don't want to, I wouldn't advise turning that off either because of that reason. The undo and redo, of course, really handy. You can also, on a Linux or a Windows program, you can go Control Z for undo, Control Y for redo, a little bit of a shortcut. If you're using a Mac, then it would be Command Z for undo, Command Y for redo. Peak meter when you're doing your audio, properties for for your video. We'll go into that a little bit too. Any recent files, playlist. When we set up the program. When we bring in video, I'll show you what the playlist is. Same with all the rest of it. So rather than going through all of these things at the top and then having you not remember any of them later on, let's just sort of go into it. So down here, to begin with, gives me the screen for new project or recent project. So if I wanted to open up a project I've already been working on, I could do that. You can see that I use this quite a bit for the library. For creating intros for Twitch. So if you've ever watched any of my other Twitch streams, you would know that I usually have a really fancy intro to this. However, I don't today because I wanted to make an intro to show you. So we're going to do that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a new project where it says project name. I'm going to click in there and I'm going to call this project name Shotcut tutorial. Video mode, I'm going to go automatic and just leave it at basically it's going to be 1920 by 1080, 25 frames per second. That's for creating the video. That's really good. It's not going to be pixelated. It's not going to look terrible on your TV if you put it on your TV. You can put that on a big screen TV and it'll look pretty good. You can even, right now for Twitch streaming, I'm doing 1280 by 720p and 30 frames per second, which is a nice. It's very low on the maintenance on my system, so doing this at 1920 by 1080. If I wanted to make it so that it was more, if I want to do this for Twitch, which actually I'm doing, I could actually change this to 1280 by 720 and 30 frames per second, and then it would be the same as what I'm exporting into the I don't know, the Twitchosphere. Is that a new word? Can I create a new word, or is that already been created? Okay, so I'm going to click start, and it's going to bring me to basically this is the beginning screen. You can't see anything because I don't really have anything here yet. So on the bottom here, what I have is my timeline, and the timeline is what you use to edit your video. And on the left hand side, I'm in export right now. So you see on the bottom there's some menu options where I have playlist, filters, properties, export, and I'm on export. Export is kind of the last thing that I want to do, as we were just talking about. So what I want to go to first is I'm going to go to playlist, and this is where I'm going to bring in any video that I want to create. So right now I'm going to show you sort of an example of a video that I can create, because you can do some really cool green screen effects. And if you live in Richmond, BC, and you want to come into the library to use our green screen, you can talk to one of us and see what when it's available. We are starting to open up, which is really great. And so if we would like to see our library used. And the green screen is a really cool thing to be able to use. We don't have a green screen floor, so you do have to consider that. But I'm actually not going to show you any green screen video that I've recorded of myself. I'm going to show you some green screen video that I actually downloaded from some free websites that give away things that they've made, and also from Pixabay, which is a really good royalty free, commercial free, all of that. So I'm not downloading somebody else's work and stealing it, because that's not okay. So what we're going to do here is, first I'm going to import some video into here so that I can create just as an example video for you, and then we're going to create a really cool intro for the Twitch stream. So next week when I do part 2 of this, you'll see the intro that I created. So let's go into, and if you have any suggestions or any questions, the chat is open. I do look over at it once in a while to see who's there, and if you have any questions, and if you do, just type them in and I will be happy to answer them. So first, what I'm going to do is, you can import video in a couple of different ways. One of the ways is you can do it just by clicking open file. It's going to open up a window, and then you can go into wherever your folder is with all of your video files, and then you can add files. You can either do it one at a time, or if I wanted to, say for example, do the top one and just the first 3, you can hold down the shift key, and then whichever one you go to, it's going to do those ones. So you can see I can do 2, or I can do this one, and these ones. Or if I just want to do 2 and they're not right beside each other, I can click the top one, hold down the control key or command key if you're using a Mac, and then I can click this, because what I don't want is this thumbs.db file that Windows likes to create, because it's not a video file. So doing all of these files and importing them isn't actually super helpful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the top one, I'm going to click on the bottom one, hold down the control key, click on the thumbs DB and unselect it, and then I could drag and drop these over. But what I want to show you first, rather than not drag and drop, sorry, I can click open. But what I want to show you is that you can also drag and drop. So I'm going to open up my my folder where my extra drive is here, and go to Shotcut. I'm going to move this over to here, and now the nice thing about this is I can actually see what the photos and stuff that I've downloaded. So I'm going to go Control A, and I'm going to highlight all of my files, and then hold down the Control key, and I'm going to unselect thumbs DB, and then I'm just going to choose one of them, hold down my left mouse button, drag them over, and go into the playlist. So you can see how that changed, right? So now when I let go of this, it loads them all in, and I can see that these are all in. And now you can also see in the center I have my viewing screen. The viewing screen does have commands at the bottom. So if I want, right now it's on Alien. So if I click on the plus, I can see this is the video for the Alien. This is what I'd be working with. You can see there's a green background. I got this off of Pixabay, and I can go to Dinosaur AVI. If I double click on it, it'll bring that into the viewing screen, and now it's going to play this, and it's going to show me what this looks like. If I go to just a photograph and I click on that, it's just a still image because it's just a photograph. So I've got some photographs. I've got some, some cool. There we go. I got some cool stuff here. But if I want to make a Twitch intro, then I want to be able to say, Richmond Public Library's, Twitch stream with James the Tech, that kind of thing, right? So let's go back to open file, because I do have some ready-made things for that as well. And the ones I'm going to show you now, I actually used a free website called Canva. They do have a paid portion of it as well, but there's a good free version of it. And if you use that, you can create some pretty cool assets to put onto into your videos. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my extra drive. I'm going to go here, and I believe I have it in. It's either here. Yep, here we go. Okay, we're not playing Dungeons and Dragons. So tech on Twitch, your host. So let's do these two over here. And you know what? It won't let me do that because I used the open file thing. So I'm going to click on those two. I'm going to click open. That's going to bring those two up. So I can see this one is your host. And then this one, oh, okay, that one's actually an intro. So this one isn't going to be super helpful. And this is where the open file thing maybe isn't the handiest thing to use to get your file. So I'm actually going to right click on it, and then I'm going to click remove because I don't need it there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back down to my file window, my file folder, which on Linux is this particular version of Linux is called Kaja. I'm going to go to my extra drive. I'm going to go to here where I have my ready-made files, and I want, hold on, Twitch. Tech on Twitch. Let's go there. Tech tips. Host name. Okay. And could make this bigger so that I could actually see it, but that would be too easy, so why would I do that? I don't have a guest today. Today's topic, RPL on Twitch. That's the one I want, so I'm going to put this over here. And so now if I do this, so it's going to say this. This one here is actually for the Dungeons and Dragons program, which we'll actually be doing on Tuesday. We're doing a Tuesday from 7 to 8:30 Pacific time. So if you're around, come back for that. I'm actually going to remove it from here, just like I did before, because I don't need that. I want this particular background and just to have some consistency in it. So there we go. So I'm also going to have, I think host name should be my name. James the Tech, there we go. So we've got Richmond Public Library on Twitch. And then we have James the Tech. And then, yeah, I think that's really good. And then what we might do too is actually go into Canva to create a, so that it says Richmond Public Library. And then we'll do a today's topic shotcut. And we'll use, and then, yeah, and then we'll add in some video, which I think will be really great because give me a chance to show you how you can use Canva to create some really cool assets for Shotcut. So let's see here. I'm going to go into here, and I'm actually going to take this off screen because I have to use my password to get into this, and password should always be kept private. Okay, so here we go. So I'm just going to take this off screen, and then I'll bring it back on screen as soon as it's ready, so that I can show you. Okay, here we go. Second, it's there. Super quick, super easy. Problem. Should have some music playing in the background for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into so my projects. We have some Twitch overlays, which and Twitch panels. So actually, I want the panels. That's what I'm looking for, and I'm going to update one of them for this particular thing. So today's topic, actually, I'm going to download. So I'm on page 2, and then Richmond Public Library. I'm going to just call this Shotcut, and this is just at canva.com. This is like I said, this is a really good website for creating assets. So I'm going to download 2 and 3, and the key here is when you're creating something for Shotcut, you here, let me just show you. When I go and download, you have the option for the file type. PNG is a lossless file. It's really big, so that's a really good one to use. JPEG, you're going to have a lot of pixelization, and it's not going to look very good on the video. So I'm going to keep it at PNG. And then here, size. If I keep it at 320 by 100 pixels, it's going to be really small, and it's not going to look very good. So I'm actually going to bring this up, and I'm going to bring this up to right to the top, actually. And then here, I want to tell it I just want pages 2 and 3. And that's it. And then I'm going to download it. And there we go. Here we download. And da-da-da. And I'm just going to actually minimize this in case I need it again. And now I can take my Twitch panel, and I can, oh, you know what? It downloads, because I downloaded 2 at once, it downloads as a zip file. So I need to unzip it first. And I'm just going to, oops. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to unzip it. I'm not really giving you a tutorial on zipping and unzipping because I think that's not really what we want to do today. So here now I have Twitch panel and topic. I'm going to bring these two over here, and I think I think I just brought over the same one. Hold on, don't want that one. This one is camera concepts. What? Okay, hold on. That's not the one I want. That was from an old Twitch stream that we did. Okay, so let me try that again. Twitch panel, zip, open that up. I'm going to say extract. I'm not going to try dragging it like I did before. Go downloads, extract. There we go. Today's topic. Bring that one over. Close up my zip file. And I think that just did the same one. Okay, oh, there we go. It's giving me a different picture over here than it actually is over here. That's weird. That's fine though, because this is what I want. I want today's topic, host name, on Twitch, and then the one that we made for that says Shotcut. So let's see here. That should be topic presents. Yeah, it should be topic. Let's bring this over here. Topic. There we go. Richmond Public Library Shotcut. So now what we want to do is we want to bring these down into the order that we want it to play in. So I want it to be Richmond Public Library on Twitch. So all I have to do is left click on here and hold down the left mouse button, drag it over down here to the timeline, and then just let it go. And now it's going to create the first video one track. So this is a track, and this is a video track. If I had audio on here, then there would also be an audio track underneath, and they would look like little lines. But I don't have an audio track for this particular one. I am going to actually bring in some music because I think that makes it a little bit more enjoyable than just this quiet intro. We should have something to hear and to listen to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this as my first one. So if I hit the space bar, you'll see this little white bar moving, and this is basically where your video is playing, and you can move it around. If I left click on it and hold it, I can move it, and this is really good for editing. So if I wanted to say cut this video right here, I could put this right here, and then if I right click on it, I get these other options, which I'm going to show you later. I'm not going to show you that right now. I just wanted to show you that that's how that works. And I'm going to click this and bring this to the beginning, or I can click this, bring it to the end, or in the middle, and then spacebar plays. I can also use the controls up here if I wanted to play it. Because this is clicked and it's red underneath, that's how you know that this is what's playing. So if I went up to the playlist and I clicked on, say for example, walking, then actually this would be a good one to show you because there's actually some audio here. So here now the controls over here are going to control that. It's not going to control the timeline. So you're only controlling the timeline if you click on the timeline. So I want this to be Richmond Public Library on Twitch, and then I want it to be I'm going to say let's have the host. So I'm going to put the host. So you'll see when I dragged it now, there's all of this space here. So what I can do to get rid of that space is I can either go over to my video, left click on it, and I can move it around. So that's one option. Or I can right click on the blank space and I can say remove. And then it just removes it and it makes them snug against each other. And then I'm going to go, I want topic. So I'm going to put topic over here. And then again, right click on the space that I want removed, click remove. And then, I can also line it up, when I add it. So now this is our intro. And it's, not super interesting right now because it's, there's no music or anything. We're really going to make this shine though. This is going to look pretty awesome when it's finished. Okay. And Okay, but what I can see is I can see how long it is too, because it is it is an intro, so I don't want it to be super long. You don't want like a 5 minute intro because nobody's going to watch a 5 minute intro. So you might be wondering, well, how do I know how long this is? So underneath the video portion that shows you what you're seeing, you will see there's some numbers, and this is actually a clock. So this particular video is right now 16 seconds long. You can also see in the timeline, it's giving you this is your 0 mark. This line is your 5 second mark. This line is your 10 second mark. And then this line would be the 16 second mark, which is how long this video is so far. So if I want to make this video shorter or longer, I can do one of two things. I can either make the video smaller. So I can click, say I want to click in the middle, that's where I want to cut it. So I'm going to put my I'm trying to think of what it's called, and I can't believe I totally blanking on it. Which is fine. I'm going to call it the line thing, just to be, really technical, and that's not what it's called. So I'm gonna put this here, and then I'm gonna right click on it, and I'm going to go to sorry. I can right click on it, and then I can either say split at playhead. It's a playhead. There we go. Not the line thing. It's a playhead. So I can either say split at playhead, or if I wanted to, I could use these menu options up here as well. And the split, so here I'm just going to put this here. The split is actually this one right here, and this will split at playhead. And so I can click on it, and now you can see I've split it into two. And then if I wanted to, I could click on this one, press your delete key, or if I wanted to, I could also right click on it and just go remove, one of the two. But I'm going to click on the delete key and it'll disappear. However, if I wanted that to be longer, not shorter, what I could do is go to the edge of it, and you'll see the edge of it turns red, and then I have these arrows going back and forth. I can hold down the left mouse button, and and then I dragged it the wrong way. I keep dragging it the wrong way. There we go. And then I just drag it, and I can make it as long as I want. And there we go. Now it's super long, and now my video is... There we go. My video is 25 seconds, 25.2 seconds, and that's way, way too long already for an intro video. That's not how long you want. So I can go Control Z, and I can undo everything that I just did. And you just keep going back with Control Z, or I'll also show you Control Y will redo, or should redo. It's not redoing. So I can go up to click redo, and then it'll redo it as well. I don't want to redo it though. I want to undo it, so I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it here. So I am probably going to make it shorter once I have everything in place and I see exactly how long it is and what looks best for making it shorter. Because we're also going to add in some fade in, fade out filters. I'm going to show you how to do that, and some green screen filters. So I'm going to show you how to do all of that, and we're going to do the green screen filters first, actually. So what I'm going to do for green screen is what you want to think about is what's in front and what's in back. So whatever the green screen is always your front matter. It's always what the video that is before all other video. The background that is going to replace the green part of the green screen, that's going to be your background. So in this case, on your timeline, your background is always going to be your lower numbers. So here we have V1. And if I wanted to change that, I could call this track anything I want, actually. Instead of video 1, I could click in it and I could say, I could call it background. And then to do a green screen effect, I'm going to have to add another video track. So to do that, I'm going to right click on it, go to track operations, and you have these options for add audio track, which we're actually going to do when we add music later. Add video track, insert track, and remove track. So remove track would get rid of the track. Insert track if you had more than one track and you wanted it kind of in between the two tracks, but I don't. So what I want to do is add video track. So I'm going to add that. It's now V2, and I'm going to call this the green screen track. So there we go. So you can have that option. And then you'll notice you have these other options here too. So if I had audio on this green screen track that I didn't want to save or to hear while I'm playing it, I could click it and it'll mute the track. If I don't want to see that track because I want to just look at what's on the background track without the green screen track, I can click on that and it'll hide it. Same with the background track. You'll notice that's now disappeared and now it's appeared. And if I don't want to make any changes and I don't want to accidentally make any changes, I can also lock the track, and then now I can't accidentally make any changes. There's nothing I can do. I can try to cut it, nothing works. So I'm going to bring that back and unlock it. And so here we're going to go to the very end and we're going to bring down one of the backgrounds. So the background I'm going to bring down actually is it's the vineyard. We're gonna do the dinosaur green screen because that's the one that I have the most fun with. And so there we go. That's the dinosaur green screen or background, I mean. And it doesn't look very exciting. So just imagine a dinosaur walking across there. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to our dinosaur AVI and we're gonna drag this and we're going to put this onto the track that we just created called green screen. And you'll notice that this is really a long one. So I'm going to unclick. I'm going to let go of my mouse button, not unclick. And I'm going to bring my playhead over to the beginning here and I can see this is what it looks like. So I'm going to bring this over here. And there we go. Look at that. Guys walking by and there's the nice green screen. So just for now, just so that I can see how it looks exactly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the background the same length as the green screen effect. Again, I just go to the edge of it. I wait till the edge turns red. I see the two lines, hold down my left mouse button, and then I slowly drag this over. Okay, oops, I went a little bit too far. Okay, and if you ever need this video to be bigger because you just can't see the edges of these videos or whatever, up here you do have a zoom in and out, and you can either left click and hold down your left mouse button on this little box, and you can drag it to make to zoom in, or you can use the zoom in, zoom out here. So I can zoom out, and I can see I just have a better view of what everything looks like. It really helps if you're trying to delete just a really small portion of a track. Or I can zoom in and I can make this smaller. So here, I'm actually going to zoom back. Oops, that's way too small. There we go. That's about comfortable. Actually, you know what? For you guys, why don't I make this a little bit bigger? There we go. The other thing that you can do too is that's kind of handy if you're working on a laptop or anything like that. If you left click on the either of the videos, doesn't matter which one, and you go to track height, you can say make track shorter, and it'll actually make the track smaller so that they're more visible. So if you're working with multiple tracks, and again you're on a laptop with a smaller screen, so right now I'm using kind of a big screen, but if you're using a smaller screen, then making the track shorter is really helpful. And you can also go to track height and you can reset track height, so then it's it's back to this size. And I can make the tracks taller. So because I'm working on a bigger screen and I want all of you to be able to see what I'm doing, making the tracks taller might actually be more helpful. So making it, so you can. The nice thing really with this is that you can make it so that however your screen is on your on your computer, it's going to work for that. Okay, so here, so now we have. And now that I've done that, I'm actually going to zoom out a little bit so that I can see the rest of my. And if you need to move back and forth, there's a scroll bar window or scroll window bar here down at the bottom, so that you can move it and look at all of your tracks. So now, put my playhead over here where the dinosaur is coming out. We want to replace this green portion with the background on the bottom. So to do that, we're going to use the filters. So here for filters, we have plus and minus, copy, paste, which is really handy if you're going to be using the same filter on different portions of the video. So here I'm going to go add a filter with the plus. You can say just video filters or just audio filters or your favorites that you use often. I'm going to say video filters right now because I have no audio here. And I'm going to, and I already know which one I want to use. I want to use the green screen. So green screen is actually called Chroma Key. So I'm going to just scroll down. I could go into search and just type Chroma if I wanted to, but I'm just going to scroll down because it's like right here. So there's Chroma Hold, Chroma Key Advanced, and Chroma Key Simple. Chroma Key is the one that you want to get rid of the green screen. What I suggest is until you really know what you're doing, do Chroma Key Simple, and that's the one I'm going to show you. Chroma Key Advanced is really great if you're using something where the green screen maybe had some lighting issues and it's now different shades of green everywhere and it's really not working. You need to really tweak it. But honestly, if you like for something like this where the green is pretty consistent, I'm probably not going to have a problem with it. So I'm going to go Chroma Key Simple. I'm going to click on that and boom, it's gone. So if it didn't disappear, what I could do is I could click on the key color, which looks like a little eyedropper, and then I could bring it over to the green that I wanted to emulate, click on it, and then it's going to disappear. You will notice that you have these this green line around here, and I am going to show you how to get rid of that as well. Probably not today. I think I'll save that for next week because I want to keep this kind of simple right now. But next week I'll show you how to get rid of that green line around the dinosaur. And here you can see that the photo does not fill up the entire screen. So we want to fix that as well. And also, to be honest, I don't want the dinosaur to be this big. I'm going to make him a little bit smaller, and I'm actually going to put him in this little gray field, possibly over here. Actually, no, I'm not, because I'm going to have him just over here. Okay, where he is, but smaller. Okay, so I'm going to click on the vineyard. So the vineyard is now selected and it's now red. So now I know I'm working on the vineyard photograph. I'm still in filters, and you can see there's no filter. So if I go to dinosaur and I click on that, you'll see that I do have a filter. Oh, why isn't it showing me my filter? So vineyard, I have no filters. Dinosaur, I should have a filter because I have the Chromakey filter. Okay, it's fine. It's working. So don't really have to worry about that, I guess. But it should be showing you that there's a filter there. Okay, so here on vineyard, I'm going to go to the plus. And I want to look for size, so I'm going to search. Size, position, and rotate. That's the one I want. And now you can see that shows you the four corners. And there's this little thing in the middle here. So the top one will rotate it like this, if I want to rotate it, which I don't. And the bottom one, I can move back and forth, which maybe I do want to do. I'm actually going to get rid of a little bit of the sky. I'm going to have a little bit more vineyard. And then down here at the bottom, I have a resize box, and I'm just going to bring that so that it's this size. And that's kind of perfect, just like that. So there. Now it takes up the entire screen. But I also want to resize my dinosaur, as I was saying. So I'm going to bring my playhead so the dinosaur is more in the middle and I can see how big the dinosaur is. So here, if I try to resize the dinosaur, it's not going to work because the vineyard is the one that is highlighted. So I need to highlight dinosaur again. Go to plus, and I want to go to size again. Same thing, and basically it works exactly the same way. So here now when I go to my resize box and I drag it, oops, I'm dragging everything now. Hold on. Let's go back there. Isn't that funny? Why is it doing that? It shouldn't be doing that. So I think, so if I do that, it only moves that. And if I go here, so sometimes it's good to just sort of figure things out and you know what? Okay, so I'm going to resize it and I'm going to see if I can resize the background after. I'm not 100% sure why it's doing that. If I move this over here, and yeah, that's really funny that it's doing that. So I want to make my dinosaur smaller. And now I'm going to see if I can make my background bigger. You know what I'm going to try doing is I'm actually going to try deleting the background and just making the dinosaur, working on the dinosaur first. Put him back over here. There. And I think that has something to do with why the chroma key wasn't showing up. I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to go back to Chromakey Simple. And now I'm going to go back to my playlist. I want to go to the vineyard, put the vineyard down here. And I have to make the vineyard as long as there, as the dinosaur. There. Okay, so vineyard, filters, let's go size. And isn't it funny that it's doing this, let's get rid of that over there. Let's see what happens here. Okay, now it's the same size. It's the right size. I've never seen it do that before. That is so funny. Okay, so for some reason it's decided that the size of the dinosaur is going to be the size of the, so I'm going to undo. And I'm going to go back to there. Actually, I'm going to go back to there. Okay, so that is very strange. That it's deciding that the size of the dinosaur is going to be the size of everything, and it shouldn't be doing that. So I'm going to try to figure that out. We've got still got half an hour, so we're going to figure this out together. It's a little bit like Bob Ross, painting his pretty trees. Sometimes you make happy mistakes, and that's okay. So this is going to be one of our happy mistakes. So let's go back to dinosaur. Bring the dinosaur down here. And I wonder what would happen if I locked it. But let's try first before we do that. Let's try this. Okay, so dinosaur. Put my playhead over here. I'm gonna go to filters. And it kind of looks like it's giving me the filter already, and there's no filter up here, and that's kind of what's confusing me. I've definitely done something here. Then like that. Bring the background all the way there. The dinosaur walks. Should be able to make the dinosaur smaller. Let's try that again. So I'm going to click on here. I'm going to try clicking on lock and just see what happens. I'm going to click on the dinosaur, click plus, size. And yeah, and it's actually doing everything. And I've never seen it do that before. Okay, so it must be something with size. Let's get rid of that filter and let's just take a look at the other filters. And let's see if maybe there's a better one that I could be using. It might be that they changed the filter too, which is also possible. Oops. Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to delete that. I need to unlock this. I'm going to delete this one. And I'm going to go back to my playlist. I'm going to bring down the vineyard on its own. And I'm going to bring down the dinosaur on its own. Let's see what happens if I resize the dinosaur. Go to filters, plus, take a look at all the choices. So I've got size, and that's it. So they haven't added a new filter. Okay, well, let's give it a try here. Let's go to size. I'm going to make him smaller. Over here. I actually wanted him pretty small. I wanted him like this size, so I wanted it to look like he was way off in the background. And yeah, it's actually making everything small. It really wants this dinosaur to be huge. And you should be able to make it any size that you want. So I'm not totally sure what's happening here. And you know what? I'm gonna figure that out off camera when this is over, because I think that's definitely something to explore. It's kind of weird that it's kind of decided that yeah, that these are going to be exactly the same size, because you should be able to make these are independent of each other. They're not dependent on each other at all. There's nothing connecting them. So yeah, so I don't really understand why it's doing that. Then I bet once it's off the dinosaur, it's going to go huge again. That is so weird. Okay, you know what? That's all right. Huh. Okay, well, you know what? We're gonna figure that out another time. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I'm actually gonna get rid of the size filter, and basically to figure it out, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Google it and see if other people have had the same issue and what they did to fix it. Because I really want to be able to fix the fact that there's, the background doesn't fill up the the whole size, and I want the dinosaur not to be walking across right in the front there. So let's try another one. So let's go to the field, which is this one. I'm going to put this down here after the dinosaur. And we're going to do the alien ship. Actually, I kind of like this one. So we're going to do... Actually, no, for the field, I'm going to do this one. Put this one down here. I actually might even try the... And this is obviously way, way too long for an intro already. We would have to, I just want it to be a little bit of a snippet, but I wanted to decide how big it was going to be. Okay, so here, I'm just going to make that the same length. So there we go. So what I want to do now is when I click on the alien on that particular file, I'm going to go to filters, go to plus, and Chroma and because this is a darker green, I am going to use the color picker. That did nothing. So it's kind of funny. So there, okay, so it worked there. Not working on here. So in this case, I might actually have to go to, I might have to go to the advanced and see if that's going to work better. So I'm going to click on the minus to get rid of the filter. Click on the filter again. Go down to Chroma Advanced. And then I'm going to try that again where I do the color picker. I'm going to click on here, and then I can actually decide red, green, blue, that's what I want. I can decide on, he's not doing anything actually, which is really strange. Okay, so in a case like this, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, and I should be saving it as I go, by the way, which, I talked all about in the beginning and I haven't done. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go File and New. Yes, I do want to save it. And I'm just going to go green screen. And I'm just going to see if there's something weird that I added that I didn't realize I added just for my own sanity, really. Here. Okay, so we're gonna go to extra drive, Shotcut, the alien, the dinosaur, the field, and the vineyard. And we're just going to do green screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down the vineyard, put that in my track 1. I'm going to right click on the track over here, and I'm going to say add video track. And then I'm going to take the dinosaur, bring that down. And I'm going to make the background as long as the dinosaur. Put my playhead over in the middle so I can see the whole dinosaur. And then click on the dinosaur video. Click on filters. To the plus. Look for chroma key simple. Then it disappears. Now let's see what happens when I try to resize it. So that's where we're having some issue. Go down to size. And I'm going to try to resize it. And yeah, so this is what it should be doing on the other one. So I've obviously clicked on something that I don't know what I clicked on, because it shouldn't be resizing everything. It should just be resizing the dinosaur, because what I wanted to do is put him kind of over here, so that if I go to the beginning and I click on this, see dinosaur, and of course there's not really enough video, so what I'm going to do here is there. Does that look like if I do it like that? I'm going to move this over a little bit more. I'm trying to make it look like he's going behind this bush here. Go. So now, kinda. That's not too bad. So if I wanted him bigger, he would actually go right across the screen, but I wanted to make him a little bit smaller. And I don't think I could really. Oops, I can't make it any longer than what it is. However, what I can do is I can just take a little snippet of it so that it doesn't look like he's disappearing and appearing. So here, what I'm going to do is when he's out fully. Oh, and you know what? Not really, eh? I can't really do that exactly. So almost, just so that it's less noticeable. So I can use the arrow keys if I want to go back just a little tiny bits. So actually I'm going to do it from there so I can see where my playhead is here. I'm on the bottom, it's red. I'm going to go split it, playhead. And then I'm going to click on the dinosaur, also split it, playhead. And then I'm going to let it play a little bit. So it looks like he's going behind there. And then when he disappears, it's right at the end. That's actually kind of a nice length. So now I'm going to click on the part that I want to delete. I'm going to hold down the shift key. And I'm going to click, oh, actually it won't let me do two at once. So I'm going to click on the one I want to delete, click remove, right click on the one I want to delete, click remove, and now I just have this. Okay, you know what, that works, I think that works pretty well. I kind of like that. I'm actually going to go to size, position, and rotate, and I'm just going to move him even just a little bit more. Put him up here, there. And let's see how that looks. Not bad. So I mean, you know, we're working with ready-made graphics. It's not like I made this especially for this. So that's you know, not too bad at all. So what I'm going to do now is because I've got that working now on here. It's strange that it wasn't working on the other file. I'm actually just going to take other um, all my other files and just bring them over here, and then we're just going to work from here. So I'm going to go back to the playlist. I'm going to go back to my Windows Explorer, called Kaja on Linux, and I'm going to bring all of these. So I want this one. I got the dinosaur one. I've got the alien. Uh, this one. I got the vineyard already. I want the walking, and I also want from. Uh, I had them in downloads. Topic. Today's topic. I think I want these two. Shotcut. Today's topic. And then I want the Richmond Public Library and the James the Tech ones. So those were over. To have them in Twitch, I think so. Oh, those are the D&D ones. And that one, no, probably streamer. No, wrong one. Okay. You know what? I'm not going to worry about that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add in a couple of the intros here. So I'm going to take my playhead, put it at the beginning to 0, and then I want to have Richmond Public Library today's topic. I want to put this in. So what I can do is if I go over here, it goes overwrite, and then there's lift. Overwrite will, I believe, will actually erase what I've just done. Lift, I believe, will put it. Oh, it won't. Is the one that I want. No, overwrite overwrites, and today's topic just adds it at the end, or the plus sign adds it at the end. Minus sign will delete it. And I was pretty sure that, I don't want any of those. Pretty sure that it was the append, but that's okay, because what we're going to do instead is I'm just going to move this over. I'm going to move this over, and then I'm going to put this one down here, and I'm going to put this one here, and then move that over, and again, to move things, I'm just holding down the left mouse button until it turns red, and then I'm just moving the mouse. Okay, so now what we've got for an intro is today's topic, Shotcut, which obviously I need to make those shorter, and then it's going to show. You know what? I'm actually going to have it stop there. I just want it to be really short. So I'm going to use the split it playhead and then delete it. And then I'm going to put down the field and the spaceship, which is this one. And so let's try this one again, because this one didn't work before either. It'd be interesting to see if I can get it to work now. Oops. So if you're in playlist, whichever one you have highlighted, if you hit the plus sign, it actually just duplicates it, which I just did. So I'm just going to remove it because I don't really want to duplicate it. So here with the playhead, I can go to filters. I've got the alien spaceship selected, and now I'm going to go plus, and here I'm going to choose Chromakey simple. Try that again. I need to do the eyedropper on here. Boom. Okay, so now it worked, and you can see it there in the background. However, you can see it didn't really do a very good job, not as compared to the dinosaur, right? So here I'm going to make the background longer so that the spaceship is more there. or it's larger. So this is a good example of where we really do need to use the Chroma Advanced. So I'm going to select Chroma Simple up here on the filters. I can click the minus sign to get rid of it. And then I can click the plus sign again, go back to Chroma and go to Advanced. So now I'm going to use the eyedropper again. Click on that, click anywhere on the green. And I can see that it didn't do a very good job. So what I can do is the red, green, and blue, I can adjust that, and I can just sort of see where it's going to go a little bit better. So you can see that's too much. It's almost perfect. Try adjusting the blue a little bit. Okay, so that's pretty good. So there is an outline of the green around the spaceship, but next week I'm actually going to show you how to get rid of that outline. But for now, I think that's pretty good. So what I want to do now is I want to move it somewhere so that it's actually smaller. What I want to do is to have it, instead of coming up from the top, I want to have it come more from the bottom and have it smaller. So I need to do that size and move again, which is I actually have it in my favorites so that it's easier to find. Size, position, and rotate. And so here it is. I'm going to left click on the little circle down here, and I'm going to bring it down to bottom. And again, you can see it's not moving the background like it was before. So strange that it was doing that. And now I'm going to make it smaller. There, about that size. Now I need to move it back up. And then let's just see when it plays. And actually, there's kind of a nice effect, like it's coming right at you, right? And maybe I want to bring it up just a little bit. And I'm gonna, yeah, that's actually not too bad. I'm gonna make it smaller though. Let's make it really tiny. Bring it up here. And there. Now it looks like it's coming from. And we'll have it stop right there. Make sure my alien spaceship on the bottom is selected. I'm going to click split at playhead, click on the picture, split at playhead, and then delete these two by selecting them and clicking the delete key. I do want the background here to be the same size as the screen, so I'm going to make sure I've selected it. I'm going to click on the plus and the filters. My favorites, go down to size, position, and rotate. I'm going to see if yeah, see I can move the background no problem, and it's not moving the other photo. It's so strange it was doing that. Okay, so now I want the playhead to be where the dinosaur is because I want to do the same thing for this photo, which means I'm gonna have to move the dinosaur so that he's going behind the trees over there. So add a filter, go down to size, go here, and make it like that, and then go up to select the dinosaur. And you see I can't move him right now, so I have to go to the filter and click size, position, and rotate so that it gives me those options, and then I can move him. Okay, now let's see. There. It kind of looks like he's going in behind there. Spaceship is coming towards. Again, way too long. Like that's the thing. Like for an intro, I would basically maybe like right there. So I'm going to cut that down so that it's even shorter, and then delete the parts I don't want. And then here, I think same thing. Like really, like half as long as what it is. So I'm gonna go to. So I'm gonna eyeball it. I could, make sure in the timeline that I'm actually at, halfway point, which it kind of is. Split. And then now instead of just deleting it, I'm going to click the minus sign up here to bring this one right up next to it. Let's make this a little bit shorter too. Go. But you will notice that it's doing that to the bottom. It's bringing the bottom ones closer, but the top ones aren't. So I'm going to select them both, and the way I do that is I click on the one, hold down the shift key, and then I click on the other one. Then I can move them both and there. And so now that's a little bit shorter. And I'm going to make sure I save it. Because again, if you aren't saving it as you go along, it crashes. You could wind up losing everything, and we just got it working. So let's not play around with it, or tempt it rather. Yeah, that's pretty good. Not super happy with the dinosaur, to be honest. Here, there, uh, there. I mean, if we wanted to get really technical with this, we could actually do what's called a mask around this bush here, and really make it look like the dinosaur. Basically, it would just mean that the dinosaur isn't allowed to go in front of this particular cluster of trees. But I'm not going to go that much into it because that's way too advanced, and we're just gonna stick with what's simple. Okay, so we've got about 8 minutes left. So what I want to show you is, here we go, is adding a little bit of music so that we can see what it looks like with some music. Okay. So to add music, what we really want to do is want to add an audio track. So I'm going to go back to the video tracks. It doesn't really matter which one you're on. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to say track operations, add audio track. So I'm going to click here, and it's going to bring this audio track right at the bottom here. And now what I want to do is go to my playlist. I'm going to go open up my Explorer folder, and to so I'm using some sounds that I got from a website called bensound.com. I do have to credit them for it because that's the license details. I'm using it for non-commercial purposes. We are not a commercial business, being a library. We're a public institution, and I can use different ones, so I can kind of decide. The one I want to use is, I'm going to use this one called Buddy, and I'm just going to drag it over, put it in here, and I'll also show you how to credit people for things too, because it's basically that's going to use our open other option, but we'll do that next week. So now all I have to do is, if I want to hear it, I can double click on it, and there it is. And I realized that OBS isn't letting you hear it, so let's fix that. Here, hold on. So I feel like you need to hear this as well. Because how sad is that you wouldn't get to hear it? Oh. And oh. Huh. Hmm. I'm gonna have to fix that for next time because we don't really have enough time to fix this part. But the sound is basically not coming from the desktop, which is kind of too bad. But you can see by my sound bars that there is sound. So this will be something to look forward to next week. And I'm actually going to stop that from playing because I can hear it, and it's very loud in my ears. Well, not very loud, but it's loud enough. And I'll just set it up so that sound is coming from the desktop as well next week, instead of right now it's coming from my headphones, which is why you can hear me speaking. So I'm going to add the audio. All I have to do is left click on Bend Sound, bring it down, go to my audio track, and drag and drop. And then now when I play the video, it will also have some sound, which will be a little bit nicer. Okay, and